$2 and says, so are fans considered economic terrorists yet? That's funny.
Well, that ties in rather nicely with Sweet Baby Inc., doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, and on that note, Callum Lyle, so Sweet Baby Inc. was involved in that Spider-Man 2 game, and they made MJ hideous and made Black Cat gay at the last minute as a middle finger to the players.
That's true.
So yeah.
Make her gay.
So that gets us kind of nicely to the Sweet Baby Inc. news. I think we'll put a pin for now in the super chats, but we'll get back to them shortly here. Yeah, because we got Yellowflash here, and the Sweet Baby Inc. stuff has been kind of blowing up. This is been the talk of the town this week. So yeah, where do you want to begin with this, Andre?
Yeah, well, we've covered it as well. Of course, not nearly as extensive as Yellowflash. So this obviously has been the week of hell for Sweet Baby Inc. And since you're on top of it, Yellowflash, can't you just very briefly talk us through what's happened this week with a particular emphasis on the most recent developments? Because the developments have been nonstop, haven't they?
Yeah, stuff just keeps coming out. What I find funny is the way the media has been acting about this. If anybody wants a Gamergate 2, it's the media. Kotaku, PC Gamer, all these websites, they would love to have a Gamergate 2 because it would bring some life back to their massive overheads, especially Kotaku, because their journalists are union. So everyone gets, I think, to start like a $50,000 salary there. That's why I'm surprised they're still.
Must be nice.
Yeah, I'm surprised they're still running, to be honest, with that kind of overhead. But all these Sweet Baby people, they've been going after fans, and all these people are covering it up. Like when they talk about how this all kicked off, none of these websites talk about the fact that they went out and tried to get that curator taken down and get that guy's account suspended. Not one inclusion of that screenshot where that Chris Kindred guy, like that's his name, was saying, go report his account because he loves it so much, because he has thousands of dollars in games on Steam. It's just funny how all this works, but no one believes him anymore. All these websites don't have the power. They have calling everybody racist. That doesn't have the same punch it used to have a few years ago. And it's really fun to watch them just struggle and fall. Sweet Baby's done. And I know people are celebrating that, but there's a long list of these companies that will just take their spot too. So it's just a small little victory.
True, but
you think they're done?
Yeah, I think they're done. Anybody that touches them, I mean, that curator's over 200,000 people now. Like, this thing is spread like wildfire. It almost be like a death kiss.
Yeah, well, you had that great that phrase that made me laugh when I saw your video, which was free. It says a Sweet Baby death kiss. I think it was.
Yeah,
you called it or something.
It's a death kiss hilarious. To work with them now.
Well,
it's just going to bring a lot of controversy that you just don't need. And the biggest thing that everyone keeps forgetting is like what's going on with AAA gaming right now. Like, these games aren't making money. Like Spider-Man 2, one of the biggest games last year, $300 million budget, I think was reported. That's probably just on the game. That's probably not even including advertising. So these companies, they're not making their money back despite like good reviews and stuff like that. The money's just not coming in like it used to. So when you have these big expensive games, it's just would seem kind of just dumb now to bring this kind of controversy in, at least publicly.
I was going to say,
well, this is with them on the side and not say anything, but
this is basically the Bud Light moment though for this stuff, I believe. And you know, us on this side of the fence, we knew exactly what to look for, right? So I think that's where a lot of this stuff kind of blew up, and you had a lot of people who were kind of unaware of some of this stuff in certain circles, I guess. And that's where we kind of seen where there is the overlap with the gaming, the gaming crowd, and there isn't an overlap with the gaming crowd. And certain people this is just kind of just coming to light to them. And I've been calling them Crybaby Inc. the last few days, because especially now that we learn how they got in there. And I loved the piece that Andre did because it was brilliant. Because, you know, even though he didn't bring this, I don't think he brought this point up in it, but I think he did kind of allude to it. Basically, like in that whole write-up they had, trying to make excuses for Sweet Baby Inc. But yet we have the video. We literally have the video where this bitch is going around going, yeah, just terrorize your bosses into doing this shit if they don't. Right?
Look at this right here. This is a game that just came out and fans are liking it. And they're talking about this game, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Not even like it's probably not going to make money. And there's a lot of reasons for that, mostly because it's only on PS5. It's not on any other platform, and it's a big, expensive game. But there's just no money in AAA games anymore. They cost too much money to make.
Do you think even that one is going to fail? Because from everyone I have heard, everyone I know who still does these big AAA games, this is the one that they look forward to the most.
Final Fantasy 16
among them.
Final Fantasy 16 was well received, and that was a sales disappointment. That's straight from Square. That's not like speculation. They talked about how it was a sales disappointment. This one will probably do a little bit better, but it's just costs too much money to make these games anymore. It's a problem.
I was gonna say, are we seeing a downtrend in gaming just in general?
No, the people want games. It's just they cost too much money to make.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's as simple as that. People want games, but just like with movies, people want to see movies. People want to see Marvel movies still, even if they are horrible, but they cost way too much. When you spend $300, $400, $500, yeah, like James Gunn better be worried when we heard these reports that his Superman is going to have a total negative cost of $500 million. The hell are they doing? It's like the same thing with games. When you have so much bloat that these games become so expensive because they have let their industry run amok. They have a ton of diversity hires, which are super expensive, doesn't do anything. They have a ton of people that should be working, but aren't doing it because they're out having coffee all day. Massive office space where people aren't working. They have all kinds of stuff that just makes everything expensive, create massive overheads, and then you hire Sweet Baby Inc. to make the games unplayable so the players don't get the experience they want. So you have massive overheads combined with doing all these kinds of horrible and predatory practices to make sure that people don't want to buy the games in the first place. Of course, it's going to go to hell.
Somebody in the chat said that that was fake news. Can you pull that up?
What was fake news?
That Final Fantasy 16 didn't meet expectations. Well, here it is from Square themselves.
Oh, I was looking in the chat. Sorry.
This is from October of last year. So, and then I can go straight to the Bloomberg one if you don't like that.
Well, if
it's not fake news.
And Bloomberg says it, then probably chances are, they may have been a weeny little bit disappointed by it. So, best speculation.
Yeah, but Flash, Yellowflash, you know what game my son's playing right now? Helldivers 2.
Yeah, that game's a lot of fun. And it's like $40.
It's just fun. Yeah. Right. And all he talks about is how much fun it is. You don't talk about fun with the AAA games anymore. I played not Starfield. It was terrible. The Bethesda game.
Starfield, yeah.
Starfield. It was terrible. I mean, really? This is the best? These are the Skyrim people? This is the best you could come up with?
Well, and that's the thing.
And everything.
Well, and that's the thing is I'm trying to figure this out because, and I'm not trying to be all like facetious about it or anything, but I was told for many, many, many years that games were going to be bigger than movies. They were going to be the next big thing.
Well, they still are. It's still
outpacing and making more money than are they though? That's my question here. I'm trying to think outside of Hogwarts.
A multi-billion-dollar.
Yeah, like games like Helldivers and stuff like that. Those make money. Those are big successes. Games like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth that are stuck to one platform.
I'm asking like an actual dollar value. Okay, I got here. Palworld has made 500 million, and Helldivers 2 surpassed 200 million. That ain't shit compared to a movie that makes $1 billion at the box office. That's my point. See, you're talking an industry that takes too long. This is why they're having a problem, because they cost 3 times as much to make as a movie and twice as long or 3 times as long to make them. And then when they come out, if they're not a huge success like this, they're not making any fucking money back. So this is not the industry that everybody fucking tried to beat it to me as to begin with.
You're wrong though, because an indie game. Sorry, Paul. An indie
Maybe
game,
an indie game, but like otherwise you got to be like a GTA to make any money. It looks like
that is part of the problem. Yeah, these big AAA games, but the indie games are doing just fine. Nintendo is doing just fine. Nintendo has a lot of cash on hand.
Right, but see, they don't spend the kind of money on their games.
No, they don't.
That's
all of their
point.
games
And I'm seeing it now is from the bigger picture is what I'm saying. Sorry.
All of their games now are on old technology, so they make a lot of money when their games take off.
And you know,
and the other thing with games is that they can be fixed and often recover. So, for instance, Fallout 76, which was a disaster when it was launched, is actually pretty good right now, and it's got a lot of players. Movies don't have that ability to fix themselves over time.
Then again, they did that with Spider-Verse in the theaters, but yeah. Anyway,
well,
they fixed it in the theater.
Yeah.
While it was in theaters, they swapped it out with a fixed version. But anyway, I get what you're saying.
But
I
totally
concede on that.
And
point,
there's Cyberpunk fixed itself and made lots of money in the end.
Well, can we add
that's
one
something
thing
that
to
games can do?
Okay, here's the thing though, Paul. It didn't fix itself. It was released in a beta state. Big difference.
Yeah.
It didn't fix itself. It got completed. It was released before it was ready to be released. This is the problem with modern games. It's not a matter of, they can fix themselves. No. It's a matter of they are now completed and they are now at the point where they are releasable. Problem is they were released before they got to that point, and the paying audience got to pay to be beta testers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that happens
like
quite
Destiny.
a bit.
Yeah.
I remember
or
when
some are just crap, like Andromeda.
When the Master Chief Collection came out, that thing was so broken. It's pretty much a beta test.
Yeah,
you had to pay for.
And I see there's a little bit of confusion about what I'm saying in the chat here, but what I'm saying is basically a movie has a lot more revenue and avenues to make revenue back quickly compared to a game is what I'm seeing here. Yeah.
They used to with DVD.
Yeah, they used to. Unfortunately, they're doing it to themselves. Yeah, you're not wrong there. But it's the end of the day, you spend $100 to $300 million on a movie right now. That ain't shit compared to what they used to know.
Do you know anybody that buys digital stuff, like digital movies?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah. More people than you'd think.
I would just steal it. To be honest, if I was going to go digital, I'd just pirate it.
It depends on the person, right? Yes, there are a lot more people that probably pirate stuff. I'm not going to lie there.
If I can't get a disc, I don't feel like I own it anyway.
Well, see, that's the thing is I think that there's a lot more people than you'd realize that are just fine playing digitally and watching things digitally. They don't have a disc collection, and they didn't care when a lot of these game systems switched. And I tried to warn people that this is not the way you're going to want things to go, because this was Microsoft's plan to begin with. But I mean, people are starting to learn with games the same thing some of the movie fans are, and that not everything is going to be there forever. Right. We were just talking about this the other day about the online games that are no longer available and stuff. Go ahead.
What was that? What was that platform that went under? So all your digital stuff was lost?
Oh, the more recent one? Well, Sony shut all their shit down, but then
Sony shut theirs down. I know that. So like if you bought a digital movie on PlayStation, you lost it.
Almost every day, though, I hear from somebody that they lost a movie on Vudu, Amazon, Apple, any one of those places. And it's the same now, starting to hear the same thing for games, right? Or games are no longer playable because they're not. It was like the other day we were talking about how the only games that are being active still, as far as like online games that don't have servers anymore, are being kept alive by the fans, basically. So, yeah, I mean, I'm curious how this is going to pan out, because I'm kind of watching it as a game fan of sorts, but I'm not a gamer. I never really have been. So,
Funimation, that's right. So Funimation, if you bought a bunch of digital anime through them, if you lost
Crunchyroll deal, yeah.
Yeah, that's That's why I'll never buy digital stuff. Like I have a nice physical media collection. I'm happy to support physical media, but once
The
once
only
they
time I
shut
buy
that
digital
down,
is
I
if I
don't
have
know what
a
I'm.
choice. And it's, again, I hate using the term buy because it's really pretty much long-term lease. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. That's exactly what it is.
Well, the thing is the studio, it's in the law. You have the right to back up your shit. So, I mean, if you own it, you have the right to back it up. So anybody, you don't have to get rid, like, I've told people before, because I've had people ask me about, like, well, I have all this physical media, whether it's games or it's, I don't know about games, how that would work. I'm backing them up. But movies, in the very least, you have the opportunity where you can rip them all and then go store your movies somewhere else while you have like a a server with your movies on them.
You can do the same with games.
Yeah, I would assume so.
Yeah, you can, but it's but depending on the original platform, it may be a
I say
challenge.
sometimes you have to have the disc to
emulate
actually
them.
for the key and
You get
stuff,
an
right?
emulator.
Yeah, not everything
well, yeah,
has an
StarCraft.
emulator though.
Yeah, StarCraft stopped me from playing its games because I refused to update to the latest software that required the latest platforms, and they cut off the old platforms, even though I bought it for an old platform. They went, you can't play it on that anymore. Wait a second, I bought it for that platform.
Right.
Sorry, that's bullshit.
Well, that's a situation where I'm sure you even had the disc.
I have the disc, yes.
Yeah, but you still can't do anything. That's my point. Yeah. See, that's the thing. It's worse with games because at least with a DVD, all I got to do is find a workable DVD player or a Blu-ray player. You know what I mean? Like that's the farthest I got to go.
But they connected it to BattleNet. Not everybody connects their games to an online service that requires
right. But that was what the discussion we were having the other day, and that's just one of many other problems that
you play it on Nintendo
64.
Yeah. There's the Nintendo 64 StarCraft.
How good was that? Though? I never played.
Really?
I never played that version. I know PS has a version of it too for one of the later ones, but
are you kidding? I've never heard of it.
Let me double check because I swear I've played.
I've never played it, but I think I've played the PS one they had for like PS3 a while back, and it was just wasn't the same.
Yeah, StarCraft 64.
Yep.
Here I found some gameplay. And you can see what it looks like. Yeah, I remember playing this at a friend's house, amazed that it ran on it, because I had it for PC. I played StarCraft and
we used to play
not World of Warcraft, but Warcraft 2. I love.
I never got into Warcraft, but I did like Star.
Yeah, here it is, right here.
It looks somewhat like a very simplified version of it, but yeah.
Oh my god!
Not too bad. I missed that game.
I still have the CD for that.
God, I missed that.
There it is,
game.
running on Nintendo 64. I wonder if
I
that's
gotta
like
dig it up.
It's got to be.
I'm sure somebody has patched it up by now. There's got to be people out there that have patched it up by now to where you can just play the damn thing.
I don't know how you would play it with a hand controller. You need a keyboard.
I know those are hard.
Yeah. Well, that's why I didn't like playing on the PS one. Although I think that was StarCraft 2 or whatever, but yeah.
Real-time strategy games don't play very well on consoles. One did, though, and it's the one for Xbox, Halo Wars, I think it was called. I forget the actual name of it, but it's a real-time strategy Halo game, and it was made for controller.
Yeah. So, Andre,
pretty sure it's on Game Pass.
Anything else you wanted to cover with the Sweet Baby Ink stuff before we get back to some super chats here?
Yeah, well, only some specifics, because what intrigues me the most is how more and more are now coming to learn that Sweet Baby Inc. isn't the only company doing this, while the media in their end are desperate to try to say, because I've seen several articles that pick up on the Kotaku piece. Like, no, it's just consulting. This has been going on for years. This is nothing. Pay no attention to it. Don't focus on all the other companies. Certainly, that is my take on that. So I'm like curious, Yellowflash. Like, do you think that gamers are going to remember this and be aware that Sweet Baby Inc., they're not the villain here. They're just one piece of the cog. There are many, many more, and they need to be more conscientious about where to spend their money. do you think that gamers are going to remember this and maybe do some more research? Which other companies have been working on the game might consider buying before actually shelling out for it? What say you?
Yeah, there's a list that's been going around of all these other companies. One of them, my favorite, was called Gamer X. They work with Ubisoft, I believe. Gamer X, Gaymer.
Yeah, of course.
And then there's a couple other ones on there, but that list has been going around and it's been circulating quite a bit. I don't think this conversation is going to go away anytime soon.
This clip was taken from Midnight's Edge in the Morning, which streams live every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 9 AM Pacific Time on the Midnight's Edge main channel. There you can send in your live questions and comments before clips and full stream replays are uploaded to Midnight's Edge live archives. We are also on Twitter, Rumble, Odyssey and Facebook, so smash that like, help share, subscribe and join us.